Solomon watched it.
Today we're talking to St Albans City manager Clarence Park, where the Saints have picked up a second successive 1-1 draw in National League South, this time at home to Hampton and Richmond Borough. Hampton have been on a good run of late, Ian, and they started positively today. We needed a good save from Dean Snedker to keep it level early on, but we grew into the game very well. We got, after falling behind before half time, got level early in the second half. We were on top before they got a sending off, but we couldn't turn that numerical advantage our way.
No, I think you're right, David. As I said, I watched Hampton at Billericay 10 days ago, and I was really impressed with him. I think Gary's done a great job. He's turned the squad around from the beginning of the season, and they look decent. They've got a lot of energy. I think he uses the word efficient to me, and I think he's dead right. Everyone knows their jobs, and they caused us a lot of problems in the first half. We gradually grew into it, as you say. We've got the penalty. You've just showed me the highlights there, and I think it's a penalty. And from then on, I felt really quite comfortable. I just didn't think we started the second half as bright and as sharp as we had started the game. I felt they were a little bit sharper, and us got the equaliser, and I was a little bit nervous in terms of where we were at the time. But we created two great chances straight after there, and then they had the sending off. And I thought after that, always on the counter attack, they looked like they might get something. But I felt that we created 4 or 5 unbelievable chances, and whether it's good defending, poor finishing, or good goalkeeping, it's a mixture of all really. And we have to look back and probably say in that last 20 minutes we had enough chances to have come away with all 3 points, which is what we need at the moment. As we said before, draws are things that we can't accept. We have to try and win games of football.
Of course, we got that wrong way round, didn't we? We went. Did I get the wrong way round? We came back. I can't remember anyway. Start that second half. I thought Hampton's attitude was great. You say we started sluggishly, but I thought they actually came at us. They were determined to take the game to us then.
Yeah, as I said, you've got to give them credit. I felt they started the second half better than us. They were on the front foot. Whether the half-time whistle came for us was probably a little bit too quickly, but also with the situation we're in made me a little bit nervous, and by them scoring the goal, obviously, got us up the pitch a little bit more, and we know we've got to go and win games of football, so we're aware of that, but also we've still got to have some responsibility in the way we defend, and I didn't think we defended their goal very well. But again, as I keep saying, we look back at it and you can look at the highlights, and we've probably had 4 or 5 really good chances today. And other seasons, other matches, other weeks, other years, we've taken those chances, and we've not taken them today. A little bit of luck. We've hit the post again today. When perhaps Sam should be scored. I just said to him there, I felt 2 years ago we'd have scored that. He said he lost it in the lights. He's had his shot that's hit the heel of somebody and gone over the bar. We've created 2 or 3 really good chances late on, and we've just not been good enough to finish it. Josh has come on and created 2 chances for himself, but both he looked like he snatched at them both. But again, when you're in the situation we're in and players are trying to impress, these things happen, and we just got to try and keep as much pressure off the players as we can, and just keep trying to pick up points. As I keep saying, 3 points are what we want. Draws in the end still get you into trouble, and we've got to come away from draws and start winning some games of football. But I think, as I said to you before, that was no easy task today. Hampton have been on a good run. If you look at it, they've gone to Billericay and won. They beat Wilston at home. So they're a decent side, and he's built a good side here. And to come away with a draw, I probably would have settled for that before the game, but we've had enough chances to have picked all 3 points up.
You say you've looked at the penalty that was given, which we scored from. 2 earlier shouts before that. What did you think of those?
I can't really see. I mean, I shout because I shout for everything on the sideline. So, unless you show me the highlights now, I'll always say it's a penalty. But you said there that they might have been a little bit harsh, and the referee got them right. At the end of the day, I can only look at it in hindsight afterwards and see where we are. But every time someone goes down in the box, I'm going to appeal for it, because we need as much as we can get at the moment. So, even one in the second half, I think. Somebody went over a leg and I shouted for a penalty. So, listen, you get some, you don't. Sometimes you don't. We've missed one against Hampton a couple of weeks ago. We've scored the one today. So, again, but we can't keep relying on getting penalties. We've got to score goals in open games, and my forwards have got to come to the table, and midfield players have got to start scoring goals, and the centre halves and fullbacks have got to score goals. So we've got to try and get goals from everywhere. It's okay creating the chances, but we need more in terms of everybody in front of goal, especially in the 18-yard box.
You've mentioned the importance of the 3 points. I mean, how important is it to get 3 points, especially when you look at the run that you've got coming up over Christmas?
Well, it would have been vital in terms of where we are. Any game to get 3 points is vital. I mean, we've already, we've not won enough games. 3 games out of 19, the return isn't good enough. Simple as that. We're now starting to draw games, which is good. So now we've got to start turning some of the draws into victories. But you know, I think with the way we've been over the last couple of weeks, I think for me, I've seen a change in the way we're playing, the change in the way that we're creating chances, and the way that we're putting teams on the back foot. Now, we've got to do that more often, but we've also got to take some of those chances that we create. But as you say, with what we've got coming up with Oxford, Weymouth, Hemel, Wealdstone, Hemel, it's going to be tough. So we know that. I think we're under no illusions. The squad at the moment is probably the biggest squad I've worked with for a while. Probably a little bit unfortunate with Albert and Taylor. Miles is back now, both missed out today. But you know, as I say, I can only pick 16, so you know, at some stage 2 people will miss out. But we've got to make sure on the bench we've got cover for every area, which is what we've got. But again, if we look back at it, it's the 3 points that we want, but we're still a long way to go. We've got lots of games to come, but we look a little bit better. We're not so fragile defensively at the moment, and the confidence is starting to come back slowly, and that'll only come back by remaining unbeaten and winning games of football.
Yeah, the performances in the last 2 weeks have certainly been a lot better. I mean, how much of that is down to the arrival of Chris?
I think it's difficult to say. I think the arrival of Jamie Fielding's given us a different perspective on the way we play the game. I think Muniz and Dyer has come in and give us a different perspective in the way we play the game. And David Noble's been outstanding for us in the 3 games. So it's also, you know, as I said before, you know, I would never be disrespectful to Glenn for the job he did here. So I don't think Chris has been in long enough to really have that impact. But it's certainly in the change room, in the training sessions, they're slightly different. And it's making a difference. Whether it's the reason why, I wouldn't like to say at this precise moment, but it has made a difference. I think, you know, a different voice in there has obviously made a difference. But as I say, you know, Glenn Alzapidi can't take any blame apart from, you know, I have to take the blame from where we are at the end of the day. I'm the man that leads the ship. We haven't been good enough, as you said that. We've brought some players in that hopefully are going to improve us. And we're still looking. We're still looking to bring players in. I had a meeting with the owners this week, and you know, they've said that, you know, if we need to go and spend money, then they're happy to go and do that. So, you know, they've given me the full backing this week, which is good. But also we've got to be aware that we've got to bring the right players in. It's no good me bringing in like for like all the time. We looked long and hard this week at something that could improve us, and at the moment there's not many out there. I mean, most of the better players are already signed up with other clubs, so we just have to keep on top of what it is, and if somebody comes available that's going to make us a better team, then we've got to make that move. But it's nice for the owners to back me this week and back the change room this week, which is great from my point of view. And it also gives us all a lift in there that no, we can go and spend some more money and make sure, as I said there, we've got to make sure we bring the right players in though.
For sending off Ian, Charlie Rathbone, he got booked for the penalty. I think when you watched the clip back, you thought then he could have got a red card for that. But foul which got him sent off right in front of you. It's hard to imagine anybody would argue about it.
No, I think at the end of the day, as we've seen, you showed me there, and there was an arm that come back, and whether he lost where Sam was, you know, a yellow card, but certainly the second one, I mean, you know, we've seen them before this year with Tom Bender last year. He got a straight red for the challenge like that against East Thurrock. So, you know, I think in the end, you know, that could have quite easily been a red if it hadn't been a yellow. So, but you know, that's not my problem at the end of the day. That's the referees and Hampton's problem. They have to deal with that. So, silly second challenge. He was never going to win the ball. I think he just got to the stage where he felt he could just stop, not realising probably that he was already on a yellow card. So, you know, that's what's led to where it's then was the red card from that side of it.
As you mentioned earlier, next game away to Oxford City. It's on Tuesday week, 17th of December. It's on the plastic. So, any changes for that one?
I'll have to just have a look at really where we are. We've got some videos to look at Oxford. I mean, I think they got beat today by Maidstone, which probably isn't going to help. I think Ben Jefford got sent off, so we need to see where we are and how many games. I don't know if they've got any games this week where he probably won't come into that game, so he probably will miss that. So we'll have a look at it and see where we are with the AstroTurf and what we might have to do. But we might have to change it slightly because it is a difficult surface to play on.
Lovely, thanks so much, Ian. So Saints next in action then, as mentioned, on Tuesday 17th of December. We're up at Marsh Lane, Oxford City. National League South. Kick-off is at 7:45 p.m.